Hello viewers, you're welcome to this lecture on hydrobiology. We are going to look at the ecological effects of thermal stratification. How does thermal stratification affect the ecology of a lake? Stratification profoundly affects the ecosystems by controlling the distribution of heat, oxygen, and nutrients. It affects the distribution of heat, oxygen, and other nutrients, including carbon dioxide. Now, let us see, how does thermal stratification affect the amount of dissolved oxygen? Now, thermal stratification basically affects oxygen distribution in a lake. The lack of mixing during summer or the dry season can lead to low oxygen levels or hypoxic condition in the hypolimnion, while you have more oxygen at the surface epilimnion. This happens because bacterial decomposition basically use up the oxygen. So during the dry season, basically, you have more oxygen in the epilimnion, followed by the metalimnion, where you have moderate amount of oxygen, and then at the bottom you have hypoxic conditions. That's oxygen is usually at very low concentration, and then you may also experience anoxic conditions in a situation where the microbial activity results in complete depletion or use up of the oxygen at the bottom. Thermal stratification also affects nutrient distribution. The hypolimnion tend to have more nutrients because the nutrients and even organic debris are deposited at the bottom of the lake. And now this actually can be redistributed, especially during turnover, especially when the temperature is redistributed, when the temperature of the upper surface and the lower surface becomes even or becomes at equilibrium, especially during spring or fall, or between the change between dry season and rainy season, when there is a gradual change in season. That's what we call turnover, and that turnover basically brings the nutrients that are at the bottom to the surface, and these actually provide nutrients for the algae and results in serious algal blooms. And the algal bloom basically is also called eutrophication. So basically, thermal stratification affects nutrient distribution. That's the basic knowledge you want to have. So basically, during the summer, you have lesser nutrients at the epilimnion, more nutrients at the metalimnion, and they have most of the nutrients at the hypolimnion. Then during turnover, the nutrients are recirculated to the top. Now, the thermal stratification also affects the habitat of organisms. Various aquatic organisms have various temperature requirements. So some organisms are adapted to survive at the upper side of upper surface of the lake, where the temperature is warmer, while some are adapted to the metalimnion, where they are able to survive more colder temperatures, while others live at the benthic zone in the hypolimnion, where the temperature is very cold. So basically, the thermal stratification affects the distribution of organisms in a lake or in a freshwater ecosystem. The thermal stratification also affects the lake's productivity. Now, the stratification cycle is a crucial driver of lakes' overall biological productivity, especially because during the warmer season, the nutrients are usually at the bottom, and during turnover events, the nutrients turned to the surface, replenishing the surface epilimnion, and this actually results in the proliferation of photosynthetic organisms, especially the algae, and basically it now helps to improve biological productivity. We now have more photosynthetic organisms proliferating in the at that time. And so basically, thermal stratification basically affects oxygen distribution, nutrient distribution, and the distribution of living organisms. So thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Dr. Gijo Ayebapuri Harry. Keep watching more of my videos from my YouTube and TikTok channels. Thanks.